Welcome to another episode of Port Charles Chat. I'm Mom.
And I'm Brandon.
Thank you so much for joining us again today. This week we'll be reflecting on the week of February 17th through the 21st. Brandon, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. Are you?
I sure am. All right, first of all, let's talk about Cyrus because he was our big topic of the week. Cyrus decided to go and visit Elizabeth at her house. He is kind of suspicious. He knows that people are looking after him or looking for things in regards to him. And so he goes to Elizabeth's house. Before he did go there, he did have a syringe filled with digitalis. While at Elizabeth's house, he admitted to all of the killings that he did do. In his words, he said he was trying to help and make people be at peace. Anyway, and so Elizabeth asked about everyone who she knew who was affected by Cyrus and she asked specifically about Sam and Dex, and both of them apparently got in his way. And so that is why he needed to kill both of them. And then Dex, of course, also witnessed him being at the scene of one of the killings. So Cyrus goes and he tries to attack Elizabeth, and then Lucky comes in. So Lucky does try to rescue Liz. While they were wrestling, Cyrus stabs him with a syringe of digitalis, which of course makes Lucky kind of fall out. Cyrus escapes and he goes back to his cabin. When he arrives back at his cabin, Joss is there. And so Cyrus did try to kill Joss. And in the meantime, Josh actually shot Cyrus and killed him. Lucky was taken to General Hospital, and Isaiah and Portia worked on him. And at this point in time, he is supposed to live. So, Brandon, we have had a lot happen with Cyrus in a matter of like 2 days. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, that was certainly interesting. One of the things that I liked from the writer's perspective is I liked that they didn't make it seem like the new Cyrus was a facade, but rather was sort of the fuel for him doing all of this, which is an interesting choice. But overall, I thought it was just... I liked the confrontation between him and Elizabeth, but it was not the ending I'd expected for Cyrus.
Yeah, I knew that someone was going to go after Cyrus. I was hoping it'd be kind of a mystery and not a who exactly. I didn't want us to know who did it. I wanted it to be a mystery, and so I was not surprised that it was Jocelyn, because they kind of led us to know that it would be Jocelyn who would do this. I was just hoping they'd kind of throw something in it so it'd be someone else. What was the surprise for me was who Jocelyn called, who we'll get back to in just a little bit, after she did kill Cyrus. So I'm going to Joss next. So Joss was at the cabin when Cyrus arrived, as I mentioned before, and she was searching and searching. She was going to find any evidence that she could find to link Cyrus to all of the killings. And then she did find his the hospital bracelets from everyone, which was his token that he took from everyone who he did kill. And so after she shoots him, she immediately calls Brennan. I thought she was going to call Jason, but she called Brennan, and he was there immediately because apparently he was right outside when everything happened. And so now I got to backtrack just a little bit with Brennan. It is Valentine's Day in Port Charles, or Valentine's Week at Port Charles. And so Brennan actually has been spending some time with Carly earlier that day. And so he received a call. We don't know from whom at that point in time, but he did receive a call and he left Carly's house. But he did say that when Joss called him, he said that he was near the cabin. And he ended up taking Joss back to the WSB. He actually helped her to clean herself up. He gave her a new change of clothes. And then Jocelyn did ask the question of, shouldn't we call the police? And he asked her the question. He said that he could actually help her in this process, because I guess in that point it wouldn't really look that good for Jocelyn because she was in a cabin and everything like that. And so even though it was self-defense on her behalf. And so Brennan ultimately wants to know if Jocelyn wants to work as the WSB as an agent. And the way it ended, it looks like Jocelyn's kind of thinking about it. She didn't commit to anything. It just the way she left was a she didn't know. And so that goes with Jocelyn and Brennan. And that was, I think, most of the week was all of that together. And then we move on to Brooklyn and Chase. Brooklyn finally tells Chase about the baby that she gave up for adoption. And Chase was very understanding. And he even asked if she was interested in finding her baby. Curtis and Drew at this point do not agree with each other. And Curtis does not want anything to do with Drew at all. Curtis does reach out to his aunt, and they talk about another congressman named Doug. And so I think that Curtis wants to use this particular man, Doug, in order to help him in regards to his fight against Drew. Jason, on the other hand, he wants to make peace with Drew. He actually kind of breaks into Drew's house. But he says that he wants to make peace. But Drew is not interested in that at all. And then Mac and Felicia. Mac actually had a hard time realizing that Jason could be the father of Sasha's baby. He spends quite a bit of time lamenting over that. And then Sasha, the last person who I'm kind of going to bring up. But Sasha tells Tracy about the private eye who's kind of after her. And then she also tells Tracy that Jason is the father of her child. And I believe I've hit almost everything. Brandon, what did I leave out for characters?
I think that for the most part, you hit everything. I mean, this was a jam-packed week from the whole thing with Jocelyn and Cyrus to even Brooklyn and Lulu.
Yes, it was a very jam-packed week. And then let's go to our fun things. Let's talk about our performers of the week. And I had several this week. The first one for me was actually Chase. I like the way they wrote Chase this week. I like that he was very sensitive in regards to Brooklyn. And I just thought they did a nice job with Chase this week. Cyrus would be my number two performer of the week. Cyrus I mean, he answered all the questions. I thought they I thought they did a nice job with him this week. He went back to a little bit of what he was before, but at the same time, some of his newness was still there. Brennan for me was number three. So I had all men this week. Brennan was number three for me. I like the conversations he had with Carly and with Donna. And then I like the way he was kind of working with Jocelyn. It's a little devious, but at the same time, it was just, Brennan at work. And so those are the three who I thought of the performers of the week. Brandon, who did you have for performers of the week?
So I'm going to, first of all, I also have a few, but
Uh-huh.
I'm going to start off with the three that you said.
Okay.
And then I'm going to add two more.
Okay. Who are you adding on?
I'm going to add on Elizabeth and Aiden.
Oh, yes. All right. Why Aiden?
I really liked his relation with his mom this week, and even the scenes at him at the hospital for Lucky, even though we've never really seen him and Lucky together aside from maybe the twice. Nevertheless, I really liked his performance and the way that he was working with the other characters in the scenes, and so I really was I really believed the sort of grief and dismay that he was having, and also the fact that I think the standout in part was when he found out about Lucky, because apparently nobody told him at the hospital.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I did like the way, and I agree with you about Aiden. I like that. And I like having Elizabeth included also, because Elizabeth did do a nice job this week. And now let's kind of talk about the oddball this week. New Lucky. What did you think about New Lucky?
What was interesting is I kind of actually bought him as Lucky.
Yeah, he didn't bother me either. And for those who are looking, you may have noticed that the old Lucky is back. New Lucky was just there as a stand-in for a couple days this week. Um, but yes, New Lucky did not bother me. But I am happy that old Lucky is back. Hopefully he showered, but old Lucky is back again.
But what I find interesting though is New Lucky had more purpose in the scenes than Old Lucky did.
Yeah, and I was sorry that Old Lucky could not actually have those scenes, with the fight and then his romantic time with Elizabeth, so things that we were kind of looking forward to seeing Old Lucky do. New Lucky instead did all of that.
But yeah, I mean, knew Lucky defended Elizabeth, was there for her, had a whole romantic scene, um, and met with Aiden, and finally met Tobias, and regular Lucky didn't experience any of that.
Yeah, I know. So hopefully they'll let Old Lucky get some of these scenes later. All right, for amusing scenes of the week. For me, there are a couple of them, and one might surprise you. Carly and Brennan. I have really enjoyed their exchange throughout the week. I thought they did a really nice job. It was very cutesy. I liked the way they included Donna in it. I thought it was just a really cute scene. And then the other one is actually Kai and Trina. They've been on my list of people who bother me, but I got a kick out of them when they were in the Savoy, and she kind of teased them a little bit, and she kind of mentioned that her father. Well, she didn't directly say her father owned the Savoy, but she did call him over, and she did wave at him. So I just thought that was kind of cute. All right, Brandon, what were your amusing scenes for the week?
Yeah, definitely those. And I was surprised that you said that for kind training, but I agree. Um, I also liked Lulu and Dante for the Valentine's Day one with the cupcake.
Yes, I did enjoy that exchange also. Yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
especially in regards to them talking about how Rocco eats like 4 cupcakes at a time.
yeah, I like Dante's remark in regards to that too. All right. I added a category, Brandon. I have a most dramatic scene this week, and so for me there were two, and both of them involved Cyrus. I thought Liz and Cyrus had the most dramatic scene, and then of course Joss and Cyrus. What do you have anything that you'd like to add to that?
Here's the thing about the whole Jocelyn Cyrus thing. It was dramatic, and so I agree. I kind of like the one with uh, Cyrus and was a little bit more than that. I could really see Cyrus's acting coming in, and I mean, it was such a great performance by both him and Elizabeth. But the I thought that Cyrus with the axe was a little bit more intimidating than Jocelyn taking down Cyrus.
Yeah, it was very intimidating. All right. And then my fast forward scene of the week actually was Drew and Willow when they were at the house together. I thought that was kind of boring. I had to watch it twice, that particular episode twice, since I didn't take notes the first time, and I fast forwarded them straight through. All right, Bran, what was your fast forward scene of the week?
I don't know if I really had one. I don't think I really had one. Well, actually, if anything, it would actually be the arguing between Lulu and Brooklyn.
Okay. Yep, that makes a lot of sense. All right. And now we have our touching scenes of the week, and I have several of them. They all really involve one person, though. First of all, it was Jason and his gravesite with Sam. I thought that was very touching. And then I enjoyed Jason with Tracy. Tracy had some nice words to say to Jason, and she kind of thanked him for being part of the family. And then Jason and Anna had a nice scene together too. And so for me, those were the touching scenes of the week, or at least that's what stood out. What about you, Bran?
Yeah, I like those. I'm going to add two more to that that had stood out to me. The beginning of the conversation between Tracy and Sasha. Um,
Okay.
I thought what was interesting about that is even though that they were, they're normally pretty combative, is Tracy, and she said this really quick too, is like, well, Sasha, you're carrying the baby of a true that will be a true Quartermain, and this is a Quartermain baby. Like Tracy is already accepted in as Sasha's baby as one of their own. It's like, oh yeah, well I guess Sasha, that means you're a Quartermain now. Whether she wants it or not. But but yeah, so I have that. But I'm actually going to add to me the big one of I'm going to add Chase and Brooklyn.
Okay. Yeah, they did have a nice scene together where she explained to him about her pregnancy and everything like that. All right. All right. So this is a big scene, big group to welcome back. We welcome back Mac this week. He's been missing for a while. We welcome back Laura. We welcome back Aiden. Tobias has been seen before, so welcome to Tobias. And we welcome back Spinelli this week. Did I miss anyone, Brand?
I think that's it.
All right. We did say goodbye to Cyrus, or we think we've said goodbye to Cyrus at this point. Now we have the Where Are You? We figured out where Kevin was. Brandon, what did we discover about Kevin?
He seems to have gotten himself in a brand new area.
Yeah, he's in another soap opera now. So I don't know if that means he'll still be on General Hospital or what. But anyway, he is on Beyond the Gates, which premieres this week. So Kevin is moved on. Um, we didn't see Ava this week, Rick, Sidwell, Alexis, or Natalia. So these are people who were kind of missing this week. Did I leave anyone out?
And we only saw Sunny once.
Yep, we only saw Sunny once. All right, next week, what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Joss and Brennan. I kind of see where that kind of ends up a little bit. And I want to go back to Sidwell. What about you, Brandon?
Actually, one thing I want to discuss real quick is the lack of Maxie in Tuesday's episode.
Yes. Go ahead, Brandon. Will you enlighten the audience?
Yeah, so for Tuesday's episode, we have the whole blind date for Lucas, and the whole thing was set up by Maxie. The only thing about it is Maxie's not in the episode. She's in the description of the episode. Every interaction that you feel like should have had Maxie in it mentioned Maxie, but it was just Spinelli instead.
Yeah, it's almost as if, and this was your comment, as if the storyline was changed a little bit, like Maxie just was not there, or the actress per se was not there, because it appeared as though it was written for two people and not just one person. But Spinelli kind of had all the lines that Maxie would have had.
But yeah, so I certainly thought that that was a bit interesting, but nevertheless, of course, we always love it when we can see Spinelli.
Yep, we sure do. Sure do. Brandon, was there anything else you want to talk about for this week on General Hospital?
Yeah, something I thought was a little bit amusing. It didn't quite make it to my rankings, but when Jocelyn was going through her phone, she has never Jason on her line in her contacts.
Yes, she did. I thought that was really interesting. But when I looked at the people that she had on there, and like you said, my mind went straight to when they showed her phone contacts. My mind immediately went to Jason, and I didn't. You're the one who picked up on Jack Brennan being right up there too. So, so that was interesting and kind of fun to watch. That they kind of led us astray a little bit.
Yeah, so it definitely is. But one of the things that you notice is while there may be two Jasons up there, her dad's not up on her contacts list.
Yeah, Jax should have been up there. That goes along right underneath Jason. So yes, I was very surprised that Jax was not on there. But maybe she listed him under Dad. I don't know. But, but yes. Anything else, Brad?
But yeah, so certainly interesting, and I'm curious as to where this is all going. Like, are they truly going to sweep this all under the rug? And when Brennan, yeah, of course, took Jocelyn in, they said that they were going to sweep the whole place, clean up all evidence, with the exception of one thing, but they never said what that one thing is.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see, and they did that real quick too. I mean, because even Anna noticed it. Because Anna made a comment. She's like, "It's like this has been swept clean." Like she was not expecting that. Yeah.
But
All right. Well, Brandon, thank you so much for speaking with me today about General Hospital.
of course, yeah, it was an exciting week, and yeah, I mean, but we saw the best of Cyrus, and apparently potentially the last.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm glad they were able to wrap it up, and I'm glad they didn't leave any loose ends, and they are on the track of actually figuring out Austin Gatlin Holt. So that'll be interesting to see too if they actually continue with that storyline and kind of wrap that one up. But we thank every. Oh, go ahead, Brand.
But yeah, I'm certainly hoping that they do wrap that up. And I will say that we noticed that there was a bit of planning put into this because we did see a flashback with Dex.
Yeah. So I'm glad to see that someone has thought this through. They took a lot of time to think this through. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today and for watching. Please let us know what your thoughts are, and we look forward to speaking to you next week. Have a great week, everybody.
And we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye bye.